So as we all know, the rise of Tri-Zooka came quick, but is this really the meta we wanted? Hey, I'm Mitzelblix, also known as Graces, and today we're going to be talking about the Tri-Zooka, and what led up to the meta we have today. And also, thank you guys so much for 100 subs, that's absolutely insane. Within the span of the time that I started making content, that's absolutely crazy. Thank you guys. And with that out of the way, let's get started. Now we all know we started with our beloved sloshing machine in the early days of this game. You can't see it, but I can't say that with a straight face. F weapon. This is one of the most unhealthy weapons for the game in its prime. It could do everything. It could slay, it could hold down your area, you name it. And not to mention it, but this weapon was really broken at launch. It would hit you and kill you through walls. And with an amazing kit of Fizzy Bomb and Booyah Bomb, the amount of versatility this weapon had was insane. Fizzy Bomb gives you great paint, a thin trail of ink to swim through, and is one of the cheapest subs in the game, and its chip damage capabilities with the bomb alone is insane. And then Booyah Bomb is great for contesting zones, GGing the tower, or even checkpoints in Rainmaker. And in clams you can just drop a Booyah Bomb in front of the basket. The amount of options you have with this weapon is vastly insane, until they patched its hitbox bug and killed its fire rate. But then the sloshing machine slowly fell off, but during sloshing machine's rise, Crab was right behind it. So in the background, Splash-O-Matic was quickly catching on. Now keep in mind, around this time, Zooka was considered a mid-tier special because of the inconsistency in getting value out of it. But back to Splash, its key factor was Crab Tank. Crab is one of the most versatile specials in the entire game. Being able to hold down an area for 8 seconds is just insane. It used to be 9, and the player is only vulnerable from the sides and the back of the tank, and it comes equipped with 2 firing modes. You have your standard rapid fire mode and glob shots, kind of like Explosion, and you have a ball mode to easily reposition, and you can squish players with it, and the ability to shoot over walls with both firing modes. Yeah, this weapon is really stupid and its special is stupid, but it being on Splash with a really good main weapon and paired with Burst Bomb, might I add. Yeah, once we realized how strong Crab Tank was, I really wasn't surprised. Having perfect accuracy regardless of jumping is really good for the main weapon, and when paired with Burst Bomb you can easily clean up if you missed your last few shots. Also to add, Crab Tank is just good for holding areas. And also to add, Crab is not just good at holding down areas, it is extremely aggressive and can sweep the floor of anyone. If you see Crab Tank, you might as well just die. So now at this point, Machine was still a very strong weapon, so our meta was kind of filled with a lot of Splash-O-Matics and sloshing machines for a very decently long time. And honestly, it felt like a stalemate to me, and that's kind of why I ended up dropping the game for a solid 2 months. But then Tacticooler came into play. Well, not really. You see, Cooler was commonly used before. Before the game's launch, a lot of people that got to play the game early said Cooler would end up being meta, and it had its hard start and then it had a hard fall. But then it slowly started to crawl out the cave it was thrown into, and that was due to the fact that Tacticooler would no longer lose its effect when killed by Respawn Punisher or Haunt. So this opened the gate to a lot more possible comps, leading Splatoon, a fast-paced shooter game, to become a supersonic-paced shooter game. And being on weapons like Zap and Tri-Slosher Nouveau, the cooler weapon options were very huge for your team, especially working with Splash and Ballpoint later down the line. Oh yeah, Ballpoint, and its lovely Inkjet. Let's get to that. So Inkjet was seen as a very situational special due to Crab Tank being a 5-shot to break it and the amount of precision you needed with the pace of Cooler. But then Inkjet was buffed, increasing the explosion radius that deals 50 damage by 43% and being able to jump higher. This meant the special was going to be way more consistent, and with Fizzy Bomb on Ballpoint, the amount of combos you had with this was really good. And it paired great with Cooler. However, it was still going to struggle a little bit against Crab, but eventually Crab was going to get hit with a special duration nerf, which really didn't hurt it that much. That just meant you need to run some special power up on your Splash if you wanted that time back. And with Machine slowly falling off, the game felt pretty good for me at least, and with less and less Crabs appearing, the way the game played and felt was really For me at least, Tri-Zooka came in swinging fast, and that was due to the fact that its damage dealt with the explosion was increased from 40 to 60. That's a big jump now, meaning only 2 of the 3 shots needed to hit to lead to a kill. And that's becoming a lot more consistent and reliable. Now, of course, you still gotta aim the Zooka, but with it being more consistent, it only made it stronger, and being paired with one of its X-tier weapons, the Splattershot and Squeezer, it just made it such a strong weapon. And recently, the Splattershot also got a 17% accuracy buff. Yeah, this weapon is strong. And we immediately realized that since it had barely any startup lag, comparing this to something like Reef Slider or Kraken, yeah, this thing had so much less flaws compared, it's kind of insane. So overall, do I like how things turned out? In a real sense, Crab was so much worse and annoying to deal with. You do not know how bad it was. You literally were not allowed to play the game for 7 seconds. In my own headspace, I f***ing hate Zooka. We just need some startup time and I'll have no issue with it. The way our meta is right now, I just don't like not being able to react to a Zooka and get my brains completely obliterated. But other than that, I really do like the spot the game is in right now. It's really fun and healthy, I feel like. Just Nintendo, please don't screw it up. Well, I think that concludes the rise of Tri-Zooka. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and maybe share this video with someone if you found it interesting. I don't know what else. Alright, see ya!